Oh, welcome everybody. Great to see so many of you here. As John said, I'm Pete Miller, I'm Chief Executive of LPT. I've also got the job card of being the executive responsible for the whole system. So it's not just about the services that Leicestershire Partnership offer, but it's actually about the rest of the services that we have for mental health across the system and how that they are going to be put together. So I'm really looking forward to that. We need to do something because things aren't as they should be. They're too busy. We can't provide what we want to provide. So this Healthier in Mind consultation, this engagement exercise in what you want, what we want, collectively together is really, really important to me. Now, John did say I wanted something slightly more personal, and just one thing one aspiration. I hope you're going to be able to write your aspirations down, go and video your aspirations. But he did say, could I make sure that what's the one aspiration that I would want? So first of all, let me tell you a bit about myself. Anybody from Loughborough? Hey, yeah, I'm a Loughborough boy, born and bred. Parents still live there. I went to Shelthorpe School. Anybody know where Shelthorpe School is? Yeah, there we go. There's a future for us all. I went to Garendon, I went to Burley. One thing though, that I grew up in a family that was absolutely committed to contributing to the community, and the belief that actually your job is not just to live in your community, but to contribute to it. And my dad used to do all the firework displays and bits and bobs. If we went to a Shelthorpe School firework display in the 70s, probably my dad that was doing it. Go forward a few years from that, and that growing up in that sort of community, I went off to Burley and got my A-levels and got into medical school, and was struck at medical school by mental health and the stigma that was associated with it, even within my own profession. You want to be a psychiatrist? Why would you want to do that? But actually it really did appeal to me because psychiatry particularly and mental health is something that is slightly more complicated. I did surgery for it. I did a cardiology job once upon a time as an SHO. I got really bored doing cardiology because actually it was all this, it felt very much the same, all about hearts, and actually it wasn't very complicated in a funny sort of way, whereas mental health was much more complicated. Fast forward another 10 years, I'm sitting in a consultant child psychiatry job in Nottingham. Loving child psychiatry, loving children's mental health. Because again, this isn't about doctors sitting in clinics dishing out tablets. What it is about is that children's mental health is hugely impacted, and their well-being is hugely impacted by the environments and the communities in which they're in. Children spend 10,000 hours in school. It's got a huge impact on their mental well-being. Their contribution to their communities, their ability to take part in events and sports and their housing and all sorts of things, and their family environments, absolutely critical. And that's what made it interesting. So, for another 10 years, I'm here standing in front of you thinking, how are we going to organise mental health services in Leicestershire and Rutland? And there is a problem at the moment because I think they're fairly fractured. We've got splits between primary care and secondary care, or mental health services and social care, or the voluntary sector and statutory services, or even splits and fractures within my own trust between children's services and adult services, or learning disability services, or physical healthcare services, full of fractures. Which mean that if you're sitting as a psychiatrist in a clinic, it might be necessary, might not be necessary, but it's certainly not sufficient to improve your mental well-being, and we need to make sure that everybody's connected across all of those services. So my one aspiration today in front of you is we need, and to use a medical metaphor, as that's what I am, a doctor, we need to heal those fractures. We need to find a way of healing those fractures, and that's what I hope we'll be able to do through this engagement exercise. Thank you very much.